Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Zavocado or Zane. Either name works. I will answer to both. Today's speed build is actually a little cottagecore house cottage thing. I actually built it in Forgotten Hollow. I think that's the name. It's the vampire world. This is basically like right next door to Vlad on a 30 by 30 lot because I wanted some different lighting and a lot that was a little bigger than the 20 by 30s, but not like the massive ones where you start getting to like 30 by 40 and all that. It was a little too big for what I wanted to do. But I got really inspired the other night with this one and just kind of built it really quick in like 3 hours. It's like a lot of landscaping, and I did a little bit with like terrain tools again too. So I'm actually having a lot of fun learning how to use them, and I think I'm getting a little better at understanding how all the different mechanics of them work and everything. um, but yeah, I put a lot of chimneys on this house. It just felt right for something a little more cozy, a little more cottagecore-esque. Uh, I've not really gotten into the cottagecore thing. I know a lot of like Animal Crossing islands and things like that have gotten really into it, but I have avoided that for now. Like not like intentionally avoided it, just not really gotten like super into it. Um, this house and this inspiration kind of has changed that. So I've kind of started just flattening and dismantling my entire island for Animal Crossing, and I'm just gonna restart that like a lunatic. But I mean, what else are you really gonna do after you've finished all the other stuff in the game? It's just kind of building the island and building different things. But back to the actual build. Um, this is just, it's a little one bedroom cottage. I figured maybe like some sim that's like really into gardening and nature, and maybe like a loner sim would want to just hang out here and, you know, avoid the vampires that are their neighbors. Um, but yeah, it's pretty cozy little house. It is very expensive because of the landscaping. I did a lot of landscaping. I did like this little bridge thing. You'll see here in probably a few minutes. I don't remember exactly at what point I did it for the build, but this is a limited pack build. I will say that I used university, get together, country kitchen, of course, for a cottage core type house. Country kitchen is really useful for that part of the house. But yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, I put this big. I wanted to do like a river, but since you can't go off lot, you can't really do that. So it's just kind of imitating, like if you could have like a river that crossed over the lot from one side to the other. And I end up doing a bridge here. I've seen a lot of people do it on different builds and like YouTube and things like that, where you basically you put a room in on either side of the water that you want to cross, and then you like lower it down into the ground until you get the top of it to the height that you want for the actual like bridge to cross over. And then you take one of the rooms with no walls and stretch it across, delete the rooms underneath so those big holes in the ground disappear, and then you put some stairs on it. They can walk across it. I play tested a little bit, and he kind of walked around the water, like the pool, around like the edge of the lot instead of going across it. So I had to like actually click on the bridge to get him to actually make sure he could like get onto it and everything. Um, I did use a lot of debug for like these like stone fences and a little bit around the like pond, and especially for the bridge. I get to that a little later. There's I guess it's kind of like a stone bridge. It's in debug for the base game, and I took that out and kind of made it, I like shrunk it down. It's like 2 or 3 times, and dropped it down on top of like the little bridge that I built that's actually functional. So it kind of masks the sort of blandness of just this flat line, this like little plank that goes across, and it still does work with that. I did play test that. I don't remember if I left that in or cut it out. This build was only like 3 hours, so I just, with editing, I just sped it up, and I cut out like a little bit at the beginning. That was me kind of just sitting there forgetting that I had the I had OBS on, but I hadn't actually started building yet, so I cut out a little bit at the beginning. But everything else for the most part is in here. I did go back afterwards and, you know, double check things, and I made sure I put a trash can in. I think I missed that in the original like recording, but there is a trash can. I end up putting it around the side where I end up putting one of like the debug cars, and lots of windows. It's cute and cozy, nothing too crazy. You can see here I tried to use the other kitchen sets at first, and I was like, none of these work, because I really wanted to limit it how many packs it was so more people could, download it if they want to. But I ended up going with Country Kitchen. I figure a lot of people, it's new, a lot of people have gotten it. It's a little cheaper than, maybe using, I don't know, like Island Living and Get Famous and Discover University and a bunch of like the really expensive expansion packs. So yeah, there's some Country Kitchen in here. I don't go with that blue tealish color. I end up going with one of the greens. I'm having a lot of fun messing around with all the upper cabinetry because it's just, I love the upper cabinetry that came with it. It's so, there's such a diversity among the different cabinets and types you get instead of just with most of the other cabinets where it's very very basic and they all just kind of look the same. Maybe they're just slightly different sizes. A lot of them are just, I don't know, they kind of make me sad because they're a little bit boring. But I use the stone floor as well. On the outside it's university and a base game stone on like the outside of the house, but on the inside in the kitchen I did use the Country Kitchen uh wall and the floor, I believe. Yeah, that looks like one of the swatches for it. But most of the kitchen is definitely Country Kitchen because it's just cute and cozy and I like it. Oh, the dining table I think is, I think that's from Get Together. As always, I had a ridiculous time trying to pick curtains. I just don't like a lot of the curtains in the game. I'm sorry, I just don't. There's some of them like with Eco Lifestyle and I think it's Seasons that are like really cool. And this little thing I've got there on the end of that roof is from Debug. I want to say it's from Get Together's Debug if I remember right. But I was trying to, and eventually do get it to work. So props to me, I guess. I got it to work, but I wanted to get it to like hide in the roof, but have like that wooden part with like the beams and stuff on the outside, like outside of the actual roof, but the rest of it be tucked into the roof. And I do get it to work eventually, and I changed it to that brown color, and think I ended up putting it on another spot on the house as well. I think I cut that out, or it was one of the ones that I did afterwards, because messing around with getting it placed right because it keeps trying to jump down to like slot. It was just really annoying, really annoying, and it took a while. Even sped up, it took longer than it should have, longer than I wanted it to, but I did get it to work eventually, and I'm pretty proud of myself for that. Pat on the back. Can't reach my back, I'm not that flexible. Yeah, the kitchen is coming along. You can see it's just a little cute and cozy kitchen. I put I don't remember if it's a coffee maker or a teapot. I ended up putting on the little, like the little half tile end piece there. Yeah, okay, it's a tea maker, which I mean, I don't know. Sorry, coffee lovers, but I like tea. I like tea. Coffee. I love the smell of coffee, but I hate the taste. I just, even like if you put like a bunch of creamer or something like that in it, I just no, I can't. I can't do it. Which really used to suck because I worked at a grocery store for about 4 years while I was like in college, and like right after college while I was trying to find employment that would pay me better without having to go all the way into the city. Which eventually I found something, but I worked at Wegmans. For you East Coast Mid Atlantic people, you'll know Wegmans. They generally pay really good and uh, treat their employees like people, which is always a good feature to have in a place you're working. But I worked in the grocery department, so we like stocked all the shelves and broke down the loads on the trucks and things like that, like in the back room and all that. But we also, when I first started working there for like the first year or so, we were still responsible for like the demos on the weekends where you could, bring out like fruit snacks or some sort of like new juice that they had. And they always had those stupid K cup coffee things because at the time Wegmans had just come out with like their own version of it, so they were really pushing that with demos, and they would always make me do that demo at like 8 or 9 in the morning on like a Saturday or Sunday. And they're always like, yeah, tell everyone that, your own opinion about it, or which flavor is your favorite. I'm like, guys, I hate coffee. Like, I hate coffee. I'm sorry, coffee lovers, but I hate it. And yeah, eventually they stopped making us do those demos, but oh god, it was awful because they're like, "Oh, which one do you like?" And I'm like, "I don't like any of them. I hate coffee. I hate coffee. Please stop making me do this. It's too early." Because I am a night owl. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. I don't think I've mentioned it before, but I, even as a kid, I am a night owl. Also, it's 11:11 p.m. right now, so make a wish. Cross your fingers, make a wish. It's 11 p.m. Eastern time right now for me. It probably won't be when you watch this, but if it is, consider that a sign and make some good wishes or good choices. Either or. I don't know. I'm rambling. You can see we're coming along here in the living room. I went not too crazy with all the little details and all the clutter and things, but I wanted to fill up the space. You know, it's a little tiny, cozy cottage, kind of out in the forest. That was kind of what I was going for. Once I get all the debug landscaping and regular landscaping and all the trees here and there and everywhere, I did try to put this entrance on a platform. Um, he wouldn't walk down it. I don't know why. It was only one tile. He would not step down it. I took away the little half wall there. He would still not step down it. So I just kind of gave up and flattened that back out. And I think I ended up putting just the wooden flooring there. I think, and I put a little like desk computer. Maybe there's a very isolated YouTuber or streamer or someone who lives here way out in the woods with all the vampire neighbors and somehow has really good internet in the middle of nowhere, which if you do, more power to you. I got a friend that works on it's like an animal sanctuary, like rescue farm, and he lives out in the middle of nowhere, and for the most part he did not have internet for like 2 years and just did everything on his phone. And I'm just like, I couldn't do it. Like the scenery and everything is like beautiful there, and like the sunsets and stuff that he'll send pictures of, and I'm just like, you asshole, how could you send me that? It's beautiful. And I'm sitting here and like where I live now, it's like on one side there's like 95, which is like a major highway, and the other side there's like Route 1, which is like the backup highway through this area when everything gets really crazy with traffic and car accidents. I live in the DC area, so if you've ever been through Northern Virginia or have lived there in the last like 10 years, you know the roads are awful. The highway is just an absolute disaster. But I mean, even like earlier tonight after I got done with work, I was like, I'm gonna go to the grocery store, and there's a certain one that I go to. It's Wegmans. I used to work there. It's actually the one that I used to work at, because I don't know, they treated me well. They got good produce. I like the people that work there. I still know some of them, and yeah, you know, hint to future employers or just employers in general. If you want to keep your business, treat your employees like people, and we will then shop there after we eventually move on, or maybe not move on because you treat us like people and pay us a livable wage. I'm getting off topic, but yeah, but I was going down the highway, or I wanted to go down the highway. I ended up going like our secondary back road highway, um, because when I get off work at 8 my time, and oh, I also use laundry day for that. I say as I stare at the giant stack of teal laundry equipment. Washer and dryer. They're called a washer and dryer, Zane. Yeah, but the highway was awful. Like there was an accident like a mile north of us, and then an accident at my exit, and then another accident like a mile south of us, and it was just awful, just complete disaster. And then on the way back, northbound was fine. It was the Wegmans is south of us, but like northbound was fine, but I like merge onto the highway, and the other side of the road is just wall to wall trucks and cars just dead stop because there was another accident. Just people can't drive around here. And then they try to do like 90, 100, 110, and they, weave in and out of all the cars trying to speed along and, you know, flip their cars and everything else. Oh, here's the debug bridge from Space Game. I shrunk it down. I don't remember how many times. It's massive, and so are these little towers. I use those as like pillars on the end, and I shrunk them down quite a few times as well. But yeah, we're moving on to, I think we're done with the inside. This is what I get for rambling about things that aren't the build. But let me know in the comments, do you prefer if I just talk about the build, which I know for me is definitely harder. I just kind of sit here and talk about my day and things like that. But do you prefer like staying focused on the build, or like me just kind of floating in and out of the build and whatever is going on with my life or whatever? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you have a preference or not. It's up to you guys. I kind of, well, I guess it's kind of up to me too. Sometimes it's just nice to vent, especially with isolation still happening. I have not gotten the vaccine yet. My grandmother hasn't even gotten the vaccine, although I signed her up. She lives with me. I signed her up almost. No, it's been 3 months. It's been 3 months, and she's 85. She'll be 86 in June. They still have not called us or emailed us for her, which is just ridiculous. Like, I've called them and I'm like, guys, what's going on? And they're like, oh, we'll get to her. But I'm like, okay, but in like 2 weeks, our whole state opens up for everyone 16 and over, and they still haven't gotten to her. I'm just like, guys, what is going on? And all the pharmacies and everything are booked too, which is just kind of, it's pain. It's a pain. But on a less sad topic, actually I guess it's kind of sad, but I just finished dinner as well. I made dinner when I got back from the grocery store. I was making like a brown sauce to go with like all my veggies, because I was going for like a sort of like a Chinese kind of dish. And instead of grabbing the soy sauce out of the fridge, which is usually in one spot, I grabbed Worcestershire sauce and didn't realize it, and it was bad. It was so bad. I was like, I've got like, it's April, so like my allergies are all over the place, so I can't smell very well, and my eyes are kind of in and out of being red and runny and gross, because the entire outside world is pollen and little tree flowers, because they're like, yay, we're gonna celebrate, it's spring, let us spread our joy, our lovely pollen joy all over the place. And I can't smell anything, so I was like, oh, that's probably why I can't really smell the soy sauce. That's fine, whatever. Cooked the sauce up and was like, why is it so thin? Why is this not thickening up the way I want it to? Realized it was Worcestershire sauce. Was really sad about it. It had like no flavor at all, and I didn't have like enough broth. Like, I usually use like a vegetable broth because I'm vegetarian. Didn't have enough left over to make more. Didn't realize I didn't have enough, so I didn't buy any at the grocery store earlier tonight. So I ended up just putting the soy sauce that was supposed to go into it originally, and then putting a little bit more and cooking that up, and it was fine. Like, it definitely helped it, but I mean, that Worcestershire sauce just kind of, it killed the whole vibe. It ruined my whole meal. It was so sad. My poor cats were sitting there watching me just make faces like dishes I ate, and they were just like, saying, why do you eat things that make you sad? I'm like, because I got nothing else, because I ruined my dinner. I'm the dumbass who ruined my dinner. Ugh, yeah. But we're coming to the end of the build here. I talked through the whole landscaping, but you know, it's been a day. It's been a day. Actually, it's just been a few. It's been like 4 really weird hours. Just all over the place these last 4 hours. Work was fine, and then everything else was kind of like blah, 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 blah. And that has been the day. But we are finishing up with like a little back garden. I just put like a little step down, and there's like a little tiny little patio area if you want to sit outside and eat your breakfast or have your coffee if you're into coffee. Keep me out of it. I don't want to be near it. No, thank you. And then there's, some flower pots, some little flower beds. I put I hadn't even realized they were in there, but it's like that little like clutter object. It's like a little glove for gardening and like a little, it's like a hoe or whatever it's called. I don't know. I don't garden. Well, I say that, but in the cabinet behind me, I have seeds. I'm gonna try and grow some stuff, so I don't have to buy so many vegetables and stuff from the store. But yeah, we're finishing up here. I put some flowers around this front porch and some little planters on the wall. I do go back after this. It's not on the actual speed build, and lower those lights and the planters a little bit because I wasn't really paying attention to them, and I kind of realized that they were like up here and the roof line came like down to here, so they're kind of hidden slash poking out in weird places. But I do lower those down. This build will be up on the gallery. I used that little turquoise truck to match the turquoise washer and dryer on the inside, which I don't know. I was just in a turquoise kind of mood, in a country cottagecore kind of mood. Yeah, this build will be up on the gallery. My ID on there is zavocado. Thank you for watching. Please do hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Leave a comment. I do really appreciate all of that, and I will see you guys next time.